And with that, welcome to today's video. Before we're gonna get into it, first of all, the topic, I wanna share with you, let's say, the biggest disappointment and let's say maybe even the downside of traveling. It is really not what you always think it is, so I wanna share a little bit of insights of that. But with that, also the video that you're about to watch is a little bit different from what you usually see. And it is a project I've been working on as of right now for a few months. I'll link it in the description, my second channel that as of right now, I put up like 4 to 5 videos a week. So if you enjoy what you're about to see, definitely check it out and we're gonna see each other very soon. And with that, welcome to today's video. Right now coming for you from Singapore, the Gardens by the Bay. And I just had a little conversation with a buddy that I'm traveling with right now about traveling and why I do it. So really this topic of, is it just about seeing places? Is it about like coming to an amazing place like that and like taking it in? Is that gonna change your life? Is that really gonna do something for you? And yeah, I would say we're gonna take a little walk through the park. My cameraman for now, Steven, was like, am I gonna have to like walk back for 10 minutes? I was like, no, we're gonna do a little bit of a sidewalk. And yeah, I'm just passing through right now through Singapore for 2 days. And really the topic that I wanna talk about is why after all these years I still like to, let's say, live this travel lifestyle. And I even go to sometimes the same places again and again and again. And really the quote that I posted today on Instagram, and a lot of people actually resonated with it. So the way of how the quote goes is, you don't travel to see different things, you travel to see things differently. And I would say from here now we're gonna take our walk. That when you start to travel, it really wakes you up in a way. It gets you out of your rut, out of the same routine, out of the same ways of thinking and doing everything the same way. And it kind of like makes you see things from different perspectives. So the big downside and danger that I actually see with traveling, that was also the conversation that I was having before, is that when you just go on vacation for a few weeks, you seem like at a different place the world can be really perfect. The world can be a place without worries, without stress, without deadlines. But what we don't keep in mind is that actually we just took some time off for a vacation and life is not really better at a different place. And this is what just Steven told me, is like, you know what, sometimes I miss the feeling of being like super excited about the place that you come to, and you notice that every place is just a place. And then I was thinking, I was at that point like 2-3 years ago, I almost, let's say, lost, let's just walk over there. Maybe you could even call lost the passion for traveling a little bit. It wasn't that exciting anymore. And then I started to look a little bit more inward. I started to be like, hey, I don't get any more of these emotions and these spikes from just being at a nice place and taking a nice photo, because before it was a lot of just like, let's say, it's almost like to be cool, you know? Traveling became a symbol of status. It's like if you can travel, if you can post a photo here in Singapore with Marina Bay Sands, like New York, LA, everybody like, you know, taps you on the shoulder. So if you actually ever get the chance to travel a little bit more, or let's say really the nomadic lifestyle, what it starts to give you is a more realistic perspective, and let's say the idea of, it's all good.
So sorry.
And it's all good. Like we walk around the park, you know, sometimes just blocking people off a little bit. So really one of the biggest lessons that traveling gave me is it allowed me to let go of the idea of the grass is greener on the other side. Because every time we believe that we're gonna come to a place that is gonna change everything. You know, we're gonna be in Singapore, we're gonna be in the Gardens by the Bay, we're gonna be in New York, Empire State Building, you're gonna be at the Maldives, the bluest of waters, paradise. And then, wherever you go, there you are. And to really make this experience, I think is so valuable, that you actually come to a place and you realize every place is just a place. And then there's the opportunity. Are you gonna be upset about it now? Or are you gonna be like, oh, no, I guess I'm gonna quit traveling now, there's no place that's gonna be amazing for me? Or are you gonna take the other route and you're gonna be thinking, hey, now actually I can go to any place and experience the same emotions. This is what happened to me. Now that I actually extremely lucky situation, I'm so happy about it. Now I actually can come home. I can go to like the weirdest corner in an early morning, maybe sip on a little coffee and experience the same emotions that I was before able only to experience when you come to these like super famous places. And what exactly I mean by that, we will get to in a second. Because I have to actually think about what I mean.
Yeah, it's gonna be a one cut, man. 10 minutes straight.
Well,
no, not even close.
Maybe we're not gonna do a cut now. It's quite funny. It was like also serious. Like I'm gonna tell you now in a second. But no, that's really like the biggest thing that travel taught me. And now to get into why I still like to travel and I still see the huge benefit. So now I'm changing up the dynamic. Now I'm going from just jumping through different places and sure, getting a lot of, let's say, the creative benefits, a lot of the benefits of meeting a lot of people, and also life starts to kind of like seem longer. This is really like a thing. If you come to a place, you move through different places that you live. On the one side, no, let's say I'll talk about the positive first. Like in the month of just Bali, it seemed like half a year. Why? Because I went through a period of being sick. I went through a period of being really discouraged, upset, demotivated a little bit. And then you have the week where you meet these people, you move to a different place, a different part of town, and just a month can seem like a year. So that is the, but that also gets exhausting. So right now, the reason why I still really like to travel is, on the one side, I take it as real life education. So real life education, what I mean by that is that I am super interested to, on the one side, film content about it, but to come to a new country and to see their perspective of their life, of how they want to live it, and let's say also like ideals and also limiting beliefs. Like every, let's say, culture, country and society has their own certain structures that hold people back. And me, actually, personally, what it helps me is to see like, wow, like in Asia, they're very much bound by these ideas. It's very academically oriented. Like in India, everybody's supposed to be a doctor or a lawyer. Like in the West right now, it's very individualistic and it's about chasing down your dream and, you know, fulfilling your purpose. And it's quite a new idea in general, the idea of being happy. What I like, you know, growing up in the West, it's like everybody agrees. It's about doing what makes you happy. But then you actually go out and you start to notice that in other cultures, it's not that prevalent, and you actually start to think about it. You look into the past, just the past 30, 40 years, and you realize that it's kind of a new idea. And that was also one of the big, let's say, moments when I was listening to Jordan Peterson, just his take on, let's say, life is suffering, and part of life is that it always, not always will be like peachy and nice. And once I heard that, I was like, wow, I like that. That's kind of like refreshing, and in the context, in connection to traveling, I was able to connect like the real life inside of other cultures having a little bit of different ideas and just the stuff that I read up onto. So I got like just like, let's say, written knowledge from the outside, reading a lot of books, watching a lot of podcasts, and then always keeping the mind fresh. So definitely the benefit of changing up the countries keeps the mind fresh, but also it's very easy to get exhausted. So this is what I was talking to Steven about before, that very likely I won't be able to do this lifestyle for longer than a year or two. Definitely planning to get an apartment somewhere, just because I think that's how you could get like, I could get potentially. We'll see. You always think like, now I have the solution, but usually you don't. But like get the benefits of both worlds. So kind of like have a stationary place where you live, and at the same time, every time you see yourself kind of like getting in a creative slump, to go out there. But that would be like really end game. Yeah, so to wrap up, the way how I really like to see it is that traveling and seeing other people's perspective really sharpens, let's say, your social arsenal of tools and understandings. Like with a lot of people that I meet, I just notice that they only know their way, or maybe two ways if they have like maybe like grew up in two places. But what I notice like more and more, the more I meet people from different countries, like right now in Singapore, I've spent a lot of time here, and I'm definitely no expert on the Singaporean culture, but I have a little bit of a reference point, a little bit of a understanding. When I meet someone, there's a lot of benefits. It's easier to bond with people if you have a certain like just understanding of what they're going through. And the last idea that I want to talk to you about, just this thing of allowing yourself to transform yourself and your identity again and again and again. If you're living just in one place, at some point, I mean, usually we all live in a certain fixed friend circle that we knew since whatever, high school, kindergarten, and they know us for who we are. And once we're like, hey, I maybe would like to try out, I don't know, to be more confident, or maybe I'm like a little chubby, I want to get fit now, I'm gonna be the fit guy, or I was always quiet, let me be now a little bit more outgoing, a little bit more social, and people are very soon gonna be like, you know what, you stay in your lane a little bit. And what traveling allows you is you come to a new place and you're a fresh blank slate of paper. And you can just start from scratch. People are gonna see you, and the first impression that you're gonna give them, that's what they're gonna kind of like take as a standing point. And what I noticed for me, once again now, like really making this big step and this big leap into completely living a nomadic lifestyle and really becoming, once again, a little bit more intense with all of my energy, with everything that I do. People that I meet, this is how they get to know me. And going forward, also I established this frame of everybody that knew me before. I do have friendships over like 3, 4, 5, 6. Just yesterday I've been on a call with a friend. We met like 8 years ago or something, and just people follow my development and people get to know me for being the person who constantly kind of like evolves, and people know that, God, there's like insects everywhere. That next time they're gonna meet me, very likely there's gonna be something that is very different about me. And I think that is a really cool, let's say, frame and identity to set up with, that people can actually expect of you, that you're gonna grow and evolve. And this is what we all, I think, at the end of the day want to do. And traveling will allow you to take you that first step, because I definitely noticed from me when I was just going to school, I wanted to start a YouTube channel. I wanted to become a lot more I think the first step was like I wanted to become more confident. I had like pretty bad acne, like 9th grade or something, and one day I decided, like, you know what, I'm gonna be now outgoing and confident. And all of my friends were like, you know, Danny, tone it down, tone it down. And then it was like the YouTube thing, started to do YouTube. Everybody was like, who do you think who you are? And then just started to travel, and all of a sudden you allow yourself to become this new person. This, I think, one of the biggest gifts that traveling has to give is that it gives you the freedom not only to feel free when you're like on top of a rock, of a mountain, maybe you don't have that many worries, maybe you're not just on vacation, but it gives you the freedom to kind of like implement new versions of yourself. And nobody is, let's say, gonna keep you in your lane, because nobody knows how you used to be, and how you used to be is not how you are. It's not who you are, it's who you used to be. Now it's like this advice of be yourself. I recently see a quote, don't be yourself, just be. Because being who you are is who you are right now. And if you make the decision to want to make certain changes, this is who you are right now. Being yourself is who you used to be. So traveling allows you to just be. Whew. So with that, thank you very much for watching. I am wrapping up right now in Singapore. It's just a quick little day here in the gardens. I was like, you know what, I feel a little tired, just had one meal, a lot of coffees, we're now complimentary in the hotel, but you know what, let me actually film this video, because we had this talk about traveling, why I actually want to do it, and this is pretty much the basic gist of it. So with that, until next time.
It's not just about making a video. It's about the discipline of getting there, the courage to pursue a vision, and the passion for capturing the fleeting beauty of this world.